What's up, people? And welcome back to another match reaction. God, it feels like a while. I should have probably made a video in between. I've got a few videos like car reviews on like the content bank, but I've just not been bothered to upload them. I've kind of just decided to enjoy the week of non-Arsenal games and just right through the rest of the week. We got one more game week, guys. It's been a long season, man. It's been a long season, and I'm glad we got World Cup to come, because this stressful week in, week out, is not for the faint of heart. But before we get into it, Pep Guardiola being announced he's leaving. Wow, that's interesting. I'm not sure if the players know already. In regards to the City players, I'm not sure if the City players have been informed or he's going to address it before the game, but definitely a boost for them, in the sense that they'll probably look to give him a final home send welcome. But the thing is, yeah, that game isn't even at home; it's away, and the beauty about tomorrow's game is that you just need to draw, and the title's done. And that's all it is. So yeah, interested whether he knows something that we don't, because the timing is a bit inopportune, in the sense that, you know, you could have waited until the final game of the season to announce that you're leaving. Why is it coming now? Does he know about the 115? Has he been told that the case in that is coming very close to the end? I kind of had a feeling that he was going to leave last season. I remember when he was scratching his head and all these things, and there was like massive red marks on his head. I kind of thought that, you know, that season would be that, and then this season, maybe, you know, he doesn't believe in his squad. But the thing is, he's leaving a City squad that to me is still the strongest in this league. And by a margin. You saw that Palace game, the way they moved to Palace, the way they moved the ball around Palace. No team in this league is doing that with their second string squad. Like, no side is doing that in this league. So interesting news. But yeah, let's get to Arsenal. Arsenal won, Burnley 0. Yeah, where do I start? Before the game, I mean, I was probably one of the few, maybe I said in the previous match reactions, but I was probably one of the few people that kind of said that this game won't be what many fans think it would be, in the sense that it's not going to be 4-0 Arsenal, 5-0 Arsenal, 6. It was never going to be that. If you remember very closely to a couple of years ago, Southampton away, at home, I was getting PTSDs from that. Honestly, all week I was trying my hardest to avoid looking at that Southampton game, where Aaron Ramsdale decided he wanted to give Southampton a game and give them the ball within the first 3 minutes, and we conceded. Like, yeah, that game there was just, yeah. And then obviously today, a completely different atmosphere. But the thing is, one thing I definitely would say is that we needed to turn up today and give them a serious atmosphere, because that's the best we can do. I'm not sure how much that actually helps, but it looks like it helps to an extent, because we, apart from like the first couple minutes where we looked a bit shaky, we actually didn't play too badly. The lineup was somewhat expected. Mosquera back at right back. He's the one that I'd said I will go with in the final, but we need Timber, man. Timber, I saw you in the middle of the pitch just after the final whistle went. That Achilles heel, whatever the hell you have, tendon, Achilles tendon, whatever, chicken wings, drumsticks, whatever, that shit needs to be cleared up. And for me, I'm kind of in the bracket of, if he doesn't make an appearance against Palace, I'm not confident we see him in the final. And Mosquera was playing a bit silly towards the second half, and it worries me a little bit, because you lapsy daisy against the PSG side, and they'll punish you like that. There's too many times they're taking too many touches. The ball needs to go on the inside, and it's not going on the inside. Kai Havertz up top. Look, I said, not a fan of Kai in this team. Nowhere near it. However, if you're going to play him, and I said this so many times, if you're going to play him up front, where he can drop back into midfield and create an overload, and that's how we did it. If you watch very closely in that first half, he was drifting a lot to the right hand side, almost playing that Odegaard role, which was quite interesting because he was effectively the support to Saka. Because Saka's best game is looking for that pass on the inside constantly, and he's always looking for that. If you look in the first half, some of our good plays were when Havertz and Saka were very touch and go. But yeah, again, I'll say this: extremely fortunate, extremely lucky to get away with not a red card, because that was a red. I know people are saying there was no malice behind it. And look, here's my 2 cents. In the rules of the game and what we've seen given as a red for similar challenges, that's a red card. In my eyes, I don't think it is, in the sense that it's, okay, yeah, the foot is high, but there's no malice behind it. Like, he doesn't go and completely jank the back of his foot. So in that sense, it's not a red. But what we have seen given across the season, that's a red card, and we were lucky to have not been given. And he done the right thing taking him off immediately, because that was close. Gyökeres came on and he actually he actually was a nuisance across the last 35 minutes. And I've also said about Gyökeres, if you're not going to score, at least run the channels. At least chase every ball. And it's lucky not to have the penalty for that, because he gets in front of that ball, and the goalkeeper catches him in a sense. There was a penalty shot for the first one as well. I'm not sure there was much in that, to be honest, so I don't think that was a penalty. But yeah, we scored the goal and kind of settled the nerves. But look, it looks like we're going to 1-0 our way onto the finish line. But my thing is the game was there in the second half to kill it. As a lapsy daisy, too many times he's just fucking around, and he almost cost us. Hannibal went in behind and could have scored. So again, it's just these moments where we're just kind of dropping the concentration levels a little bit, and you know, any decent team punishes us, and in the Champions League final, we can't do that. So I think the manager Arteta will definitely look into that and bench Eze in the final. I think he will. I don't think he'll go with Eze in the final. There's too many times they're in, and I said this a lot previously. When Eze plays and is good, he's good. When he's on it, he's on it. But when he's not on it, he becomes a passenger. And when you become a passenger on this side, you then become a liability. And that's how the manager sees it. Once you become a liability, you're off. You've seen what happened to Zimmerman. Zimmerman is starting to remind me of Lucas Torreira. All those years ago when Unai signed him. Within half the window, within half the season, he's gone. He's missing Italy. I can't remember where we even signed him. Zimmerman is hard to give me those vibes a little bit now. But yeah, Burnley didn't really pose much of a threat. I saw James Ward-Prowse, coming in, and I thought, oh, okay, set pieces, don't concede within the edge of that box, because if that ball goes into that danger zone, it can very much cost us. But one more game, win, and the title's there. It's as simple as that. The goal difference thing, look, I don't know what else I can say to Arsenal fans about the goal difference. We've obviously not taken advantage of tonight, but at the same time, I didn't think tonight would be the game where people think we'll get 4 or 5. I just don't think it's going to I don't think it's going to be that type of game, and I think we are very indecisive in the final third. We had chances to kill the game. Trossard hitting the post in the first half, and a couple of shots that were going a bit wayward. We definitely had opportunities to put the sword in the stone, and whether that will be detrimental to us, we'll wait and see tomorrow. But City, then they know what their job is, supporting and rooting for Bournemouth. If Bournemouth obviously get anything, if they get anything out of that game, the title's ours. That's just how close it is. But in the summer, we've got to improve our attack. That attack is woeful in front of goal. We're just not decisive enough, and ultimately that's how we've ended up in this position where we're approaching game week 38, and that's when we're potentially going to win the title. It's just such a fine margin, and I don't like that. So we just need to approach this game how we approach every other game and just go for the win. But my thing is that we need Bournemouth to get something out of City, because I am not trying to go to Selhurst Park and needed to be firing shots from the immediate, because the moment it turns into a shootout, that's when we're fucked. And I'm glad it never turned out to be that. So yeah, that the Bournemouth game is the one that I personally thought they would drop points in. I didn't think it'd be Everton, but maybe that's nature balancing itself, football balancing itself. So if they drew to Everton, then the Bournemouth game means more. But there's a lot of game hanging. There's a lot of hope hanging there for Bournemouth, because if you get a win or a draw, you get Champions League for the first time. To be honest with you, I don't even know how that would work for them in the Champions League with that kind of stadium. But yeah, if they win that and if they draw that, Champions League is looking very, very likely for them. So there's a lot riding for them. And for City, on the other hand, if it is true with Pep leaving, maybe that's not the game to announce that, because we saw with Klopp the year before, it doesn't always what's I gonna say? It doesn't always result in a positive reaction. You might end up actually putting too much pressure on the players. Not only have they got to worry about getting over the line on the title, now there's the added pressure of it's the most successful manager in their club's history. That's his final game, so now they've got even that pressure to deal with as well. We'll see. But anyways, one game to go, 1-0 to the Arsenal. Man of the match, Declan Rice. Declan's in his 6. Maybe I was wrong with Dex in the 6. I'm still not a fan of him receiving the ball under pressure, but he actually played a lot better today in the 6 than he has in the other games when he is in the 6. Skelly in that 8 is the way to go. It's just that 10 position, because I'm still hanging on to the hopes that Ethan comes back. But Eze, too many games bypassing him. There's too many games where you're wondering where is he? As much as people say Odegaard sucks, at least with Odegaard, we're noticing his presence as the game goes on. With Eze, I'm just not sure you're impacting the games with enough. Like, he's too much on the periphery of every game, and I'm not sure if that's something that we can consistently rely on. You need to remember that this is not Palace. In Palace you can get away with just hanging on the edge of every game and just turn up with the one-shot bank thing. When you're playing for a team that has constant pressure on the ball, we need something from him a lot more. So yeah, that's the one thing I would say. Can we get over the line? I won't believe it until I see it. I think that's my kind of stance on it. I kind of threw myself on the line a couple of weeks or months ago, and then it kind of got shot in my face. So, I'll be honest, I thought it was done at City, but it wasn't. We've got one more game to go. Let's go out and see out. Just win at Palace and the title's ours, and that's all you need to know. Yeah, I'll leave it at that, guys. I'll see you. Yeah, next time you see me will be at Palace. In terms of content in the summer, I probably don't know, to be honest with you. I might go to the Himalayas, joking. But yeah, in terms of content in the summer, I'll probably think about that as well. But yeah, next time you see me, hopefully we'll be crowned as champions. But yeah, one more game left, and let's see.